The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Monday, the 18th day of November, 2024. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. I'm Jamel Hartman. She's Maya Palacio. Maya Palacio. Maya, how are you? Did you miss me?
There were some moments of awe.
She missed me, folks. No, I didn't leave you alone, so I don't know. But honestly, first of all, thank you. I must thank you and Sencha and Perry and Mia, Teo. Thank you guys. This is the first vacation I've had since we started the show, and I know I've traveled. I've traveled since we've done it. But when I say vacation, meaning I didn't have to sign into a studio or do anything. You guys watch your language, you can't use that word, but you guys are awesome, and I appreciate it so much. Being able to be in a completely different time zone, a different day, and I had the time of my life. I could not have done that without being able to first trust yourself and others to kind of step in, and keep this show going for the greater community. So thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, it was simple pasta.
All right. So you want to do it again the rest of the week? Or no? I've got I have a lot to share about my trip, and I'll share it in subsequent episodes of this show.
Mm-hmm.
But as I said on that app I'm about to leave, the Axter. I said this weekend that every African country I visit is a reminder of how powerful traditional media is in making people believe things that just aren't true. And I also continue to say this. I've seen probably more poverty in the U.S. Than any other country I visited. I think traditional media, growing up, I don't know if it was like when you were coming up, but it was always commercials with young Black children with flies on them, and every in Africa was in need, and that's just not the case. But it's designed this way because I look at the people in the United States of America, right? You just had a billionaire elected, and so many poor people. Oklahoma, one of the poorest states in the nation, every county went to Donald Trump, and you ask yourself, how was this rich billionaire who probably hasn't even been to Oklahoma but 3 times in his life, if one. How was he able to get these folks to vote for him? And one of the things, and I hope this really hits home with people, right, is one of the easiest ways to control people is money, power, and controlling how they think. And if you make them believe they're living better than everyone else, they're not going to fight back. They're not going to stand up. They're not going to fight for themselves because they're going to believe based on what you show them how people live in other spaces. Think about it. When you were young and you would visit places in the U.S. or other places, and you'd say you're from Bermuda, and you get questions like, "Oh, do you live in huts and this and that?" Right? Mm-hmm. I've seen trailer parks much worse in these United States than how people are living in the continent of Africa. So I say this to Black people especially who would tune into this show. I've said this publicly. I'm going to say it again today. Do not invite me on a group trip, not like you were going to anyway, unless it's Black Africa. I am only giving into Black economists. I'm not going to Greece or Croatia. I'm not that person. I'm only going to economists that I want to support of people like me. That's how I travel at this point. I said that about 2 years ago, and I mean it. So when I was invited to this Kenya trip, that's where I'm putting my money. I think that the whole tourism industry is exploitive, one of the most exploitive industries. I don't want to be a part of that. So that's my conscious choice and decision. And I would encourage so many others who have not had the opportunity. It's going to cost you. But if you haven't had the opportunity, put money into economists that benefit people like you. Okay, I'm done with that rant.
I mean, you haven't been here a while, so it was needed. People needed to hear it.
I have a lot more to say, Maya. But
when do you not?
Says happy Monday to everyone out there. Make it a meaningful, make it worth it. Make it your own. Renee Webb says, good morning, Daily Hosts. Good morning to you. She says, have a beautiful day as you as well. Teray Tall says, good morning, someone. Thank you. Well, I did some stuff. I'm going to share it all with you guys. Awesome Monday, Jamal. Welcome back, Jamal. I missed you, Jamal. Welcome back, Suzanne.
There's a little bit funny there. It's a little low.
Low? My apologies.
You're good. You're
better. Okay, I just touched it. Don't mind me. See, I'm getting used to all this again. I don't know what Cher's partying about. What's she partying about?
I'm just happy you're back. Don't be mean.
Sherry ain't never happy I'm back. She don't know. That's just my neighbor. She don't even come sing. Let me stop because I ain't been see her. But folks, let's jump into it. Greetings, everyone. Thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome Brianna Ball-Roach on. We're going to learn about beyond inclusion today. So I'm looking forward to this conversation. Folks, you know we have the survey still available. We'll keep it up for the rest of this week. If you haven't filled out our survey yet, please fill out our survey. The information is helpful. I'm going to tell you how helpful it is. Our guest today, Beyond Inclusion, they had reached out to us earlier this summer and the email was missed. Someone who filled out the survey, quite a few people who filled out the survey, have mentioned them in the part where who are some people you'd like to have on as guests. So this is someone that you, the audience, wanted to engage with. So again, we listen to you. So whatever information you provide to us, we do our best to, again, the show is without you, there's no show. So I just want to thank those who have done the survey so far and those who have actually given us feedback. This is an example of how we intend to listen to you and give you the show that you want. The Daily Players are who said it. And also, don't forget to subscribe on our website, follow us on all of our social media channels, and stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right, let's jump into today's conversation. All right, can you hear me? Am I still breaking up? We good?
No, you're good. You're good.
We're good. All right. Look, man, I forgot how to use this stuff, man. It's been like a week, 10 days, something like that. Let's jump into today. All right. This is kind of tied into a lot of stuff. There was an election in the U.S. 2 weeks ago, and stupid me, I could have went to Ethiopia as well, but I said, no, I have to vote, even though I voted early. So I stayed. But there's a gentleman named Elon Musk. He's an African-American, says Donald Trump, the president. And he owns a social media platform called X, formerly known as Twitter. I know you all think I'm being silly, but some people just don't know that, right? I'm trying to lay it as much on the line. Anyway, he thinks that the election was won because people no longer trust traditional media. That's his whole thing. Like, he says the people are the new media, which is dangerous in itself, right? Because that means anyone with a social media page can say stuff and people will just trust them and believe them, right? No sources needed. So the question of the morning, how has the media influenced how you vote or make everyday purchases? Like, do you make a purchase based on what's said in the media? Like, it could be health products or services. Like, how has that impacted you? And also, do you trust social and new media more than traditional media? Do you trust social and new media more than traditional media? No, let's give you an example so that you know what. Maya, do you want to give an example? This is your space, like the difference between social and new media versus traditional media.
Actually, I'd love to hear your example first before I give mine.
Fine. Yeah. So social and new media is pretty much the daily hour, folks. That's new media. That's a form of new media. Social media is a form of people who just, I want to say Piers Morgan is a combination of social and new media. He was once in traditional media though. And like Elon Musk said, new media would be X, right? Traditional media is your everyday CNN, MSNBC, BBC, like that's your traditional media, setup, news, and the like. Some will say it's very similar. Others will say it's not, because a lot of new media is more opinionated as well versus fact-based. All right. And I'm going to say it. You all may not like me calling you names, but we're a bit lazier. We're not going to do research beyond what we're told. We don't. So if you support someone, if I like Maya's my favorite person, I'm going to trust her. Most of us tune into Maya trusting her. We're not really going beyond what she shares. And I'm not saying that we should, but most of us are not going beyond what she shares to see if it's true or not, because we trust that she's bringing us the truth. That's pretty much how it works. Go ahead, Maya.
Okay. So there's a lot to be said about, traditional media versus new and social media, and the fact that a lot of traditional media, obviously, you started from, let's say, racist institutions, people that obviously got their money from when they did enslave Black people, and then they use these monies to build these companies that are around today that we know of. And obviously they've tried to change throughout the years, become more diverse, include more Black people in the room, more Indigenous people in the room, just anything like that, other than to just have it be white men who are reporting on the news. And that's just from the baseline jumping up to where we are today. That's just how it is. So even in that, saying trusting them is also a weary platform too, even though they have a basis of what you can call ethics, I guess, and also I guess a trust value. But even as Malcolm X said back in the day, and still my favorite quote, the media is the most powerful entity in the world. They can make the innocent look guilty and the guilty look innocent. And that's been such a social norm for a very long time. So there is still a difference though. And I would say that traditional media definitely does do a lot more research. I would definitely say specifically investigative pieces, those type of journalists, versus, again, the ones who may just go out and report on something. Because for me, and from what I've learned, there is a difference between a reporter and a journalist. And you see journalists who do way more research, might take a while to do a story, things like that. Reporter, maybe go to an event and cover it and tell it to you. Most times on the show, I'm reporting. Anytime on Media Maya, I'm trying to write a full story, doing my journalism work. So that's sort of the difference there.
I think it's important to note that I ain't none of that. You all put pressure on me. I am not a journalist. I am not a reporter. I think that's important. It's important to distinguish the difference, because, again, it's about trust, right? I'm not here to Maya reports news, right? She researches things. I discuss the news. That's, I think, using us, that's the biggest difference.
Mm-hmm.
She shares it. She researches. She gathers stories. I give my opinion on it.
There you go. Yeah.
You got that helps audience. That's the easiest way to, in the most layman ways, right? You don't see her he's really not going to say that about my story. Yeah, she does that. Yeah, I said it. But no, that's the easiest way. So, in all that said, with all that Maya just explained, do you trust social and new media more than traditional media? Because, again, there's this belief that social and new media is dictating how we live today. But also, I really want to know, audience, how has the media influenced you, to vote or make up? Has it?
Mm-hmm.
Let us know.
I would say yes, definitely. I mean, it's interesting, this conversation, because I know people maybe my age, even younger, don't really probably subscribe to traditional media. The social and new media is all we know and all we follow, to be quite honest with you. We had Bermuda broadcasting on it before, and I wonder how many young people are actually watching TV to actually get their news. If anything, they might get it on their phones if they see it there from a reporter on TikTok, but that's really it. And so I would say, yeah, the media definitely influences me. And I'll go as far as to say that I'm more interested in the person that I'm hearing it from versus the institution that it's coming from.
Thank you. I like that. Because there is a difference. There is a difference, especially the way Maya broke down. Think about it. Most of the long-standing traditional media companies, they're legacy businesses in Bermuda. Yeah, we're talking about Bermuda, not just the U.S. Let's go to the audience. Question of the day is, how has the media influenced you, how you vote or make everyday purchases, but also, do you trust social and new media more than traditional media? Farah Palacio says, I'm a lover of traditional media print-wise. Okay. Tell me more. Kia Verne BDA says, never trusted mainstream media. Plus, media does affects how we behave and what we believe. So I'm quite strict in what I tune into. Most things it's just script, reading, and acting. Here's the thing, and this must be said. This must be said. One of the things someone in a journalist in Bermuda once told me, it's so hard to do a good job in media when you rely on advertising to pay the bills. Just think about what I'm saying to you folks. There is so hard to do the job that needs to be done. You know what Malcolm said, what Maya quoted. It's so hard to do that when you rely on advertising. Like I could sit up here this morning, because you all think I have no filter. Oh, I do, because I know we have bills to pay. But if I said everything I believed and everything that I should say and we should be discussing, we probably would be struggling. And that's the only way to change that is through subscriptions. The problem is, if I asked every last one of you today if you would give $1 so that we can have real, truly independent media, you'd probably say I don't have it. And that's okay. But then how do you expect something if you can't support something? That makes sense, Mike?
Oh, it makes 100% sense, Jamal. Like over the pandemic, even like I saw some people thought I did not take that one sponsorship, not one, all of that work. Even today, I do not. And if I do, I make it very clear on a post if this is like a paid partnership or anything of the like. But it rarely ever is. I just put things out there because I do love what I do.
Yeah. It's good to see the audience. Teray Toll says, yes, and because Maya is a professional and has standards of journalism, she helps us form opinions on things based on her framing, etc. And then she says, I trust traditional media and TikTok. That's an oxymoron, is it not?
I don't know. I mean, two can be true at the same time for somebody. So that's perfectly fine. I do believe maybe sure, but TikTok, again, is still about the person. Like myself, like I'm a person. I'm not connected. I'm connected with the Daily Hour when I come on here, but when I'm Media Maya, I'm Media Maya. Like, and it's just me. Get it? So it's just watching someone on TikTok and it's just them.
So I guess the example would, I don't know. I'm so it'd be probably like, let's just go at Gary Foster Skelton. That would be an example of someone who works in the traditional media space but is on TikTok.
Okay, yeah, but I don't think Teray means it in that way. She could mean it in that way as well. But I'm also thinking about someone who's like completely independent. Like the fact that their stories aren't anywhere else but on their own platform. You know what I mean? And they may have a degree in it already. Like they might have a journalism degree, a master's degree in this, that, and the other, and are just using that platform for themselves and can possibly make money off of it. Unlike in Bermuda, like we can't, and Canada you can't. But if you're in the States or whatever, you get money through the funding program, so you can be more independent in that way and just share your own research and your own stories right there on your own platform. That's just the person.
I can't separate social media because what's on TikTok's on Twitter, what's on Twitter's on Instagram. Like I can't separate them in terms of saying like I trust the platform. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like in the question, it's
okay. That's fair.
Like at the end of the day, everybody's really about like access to as many people as possible. I highly doubt you'll see something on one and not the other unless someone's been banned, right?
True.
Mark Arthur C. Phillips says, as far as traditional, I prefer BBC and getting into Al Jazeera. I also like long form unedited podcasts. Unedited. Fair Palacio says, I love a subscription-based print media. One, because I'm invested in who is writing it and their content. I love that. I absolutely love that she said this. Folks, you know, it was a quote someone put on social media, Maya, and said, it's amazing how we spend money and support people like Beyonce, who doesn't know we exist. Let's be honest. She knows our money, but doesn't know we exist. But we wouldn't financially give $1 to people who actually we engage with or, we know and so on. I think that's part of a long-term psyche as well.
Yeah.
I think, I'm not saying we shouldn't support. No, I mean, I spend money on things I like all the time, but I also try to give to those that I support. And money isn't the only way to support, but as far as subscription based on what she's saying here, in order to have what you really desire. Yeah. She also goes on to say too, not a fan of reading or hearing about everything. So that's the other thing. We're specific.
Yes.
Right? I like that. Suzanne Ingham says, I trust TNN, Media Maya, the Daily Hour, Medical Radio, Magic 102.7. These are transparent for me. No media will push me to buy anything because of their adverts. So you've never been convinced because of an ad?
You know I'm a big thrifter, so you'll never probably find me like ordering anything from anybody, truthfully.
Mm-hmm.
If it's, I'll go into stores, but again, that's really only in Bermuda. Nothing really pushes me out here.
Okay. Sahima Chaudhry says, that's the great thing about streaming on Twitch. Your audience supports you through subscriptions and donations. Well, that's YouTube too. And as Maya's always telling you, she gave you guys access to some of my trip in Kenya. Honestly, like it literally $2.99 a month. It doesn't cost much, but if that's an expense for you, we would love to do more independent stuff. I would love to be more direct with you and share things. But at the end of the day, this is our livelihood as well. Like we've got bills to pay too. So it's hard. It's hard. Farah says, these ads don't move me. I cannot say I've really been ever moved by an ad, honestly. I usually, right now, the only thing I'd be buying is like, equipment to do the show. And I'll be like, if Maya ignores me, if Maya and Keith, I always send stuff to Maya and Keith, and if they ignore me, I'm like, all right, okay, I guess we're not getting this. She ignored me last week when we released something. So that's the only ads I fall for is like if new equipment comes out. But anyway, we got the news break.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, let's folks, we've got Brianna Ball-Roach coming up from Beyond Inclusion. Don't go anywhere. If you appreciate the discussion this morning, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share the conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues. And yeah, I'll share more about my trip to Kenya in subsequent episodes as well. I know some people have been asking, hey, since if you're not on my WhatsApp, you probably wouldn't have seen all the videos and stuff I was sharing. Oh, sorry. And that's the most important part. Maya did share some of my trip on the membership, and she's going to be sharing many more videos of my Kenya experience. So go to YouTube and become a member today. But let's get to the news break so we can bring our guest on.
Good morning. Good morning. This is your Daily Hour News brought to you by the great people at People's Pharmacy. So, Jamal, you know how, I guess, not last week, but the week before, and the week when you were not here, we talked a lot about the throne speech on our news break. I've been mentioning a lot, and I think what's really hitting people the hardest right now is education. I think it's been hitting us the hardest probably for a very long time. But the minister went on to talk about what's going to be happening throughout the new year of 2025, going all the way up to 2027, and things that people should be getting ready to look out for, especially some closures of primary schools, some extensions into, the P7 year. But he also wants to address the fact that, yes, there have been obstacles and challenges in communication. So here's something that he recently said.
In the coming weeks, the following are among various tweaks we're looking at as a result of the feedback we've been getting. We will be looking at how we communicate with parents and educators and explore new ways to ensure messages are effectively communicated. Reassess how the government's committee meetings are conducted. Continue to look at educator recruitment processes and how that can be improved. Perform an audit of all current S3 signature school students to identify any gaps in earned credits relating to signature programs.
So that's him coming out just trying to, again, show more transparency on behalf of the government.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes.
No, in response to that, the opposition leader, Jeremy Richardson, who actually graced us with presence on the show a couple of weeks ago, and he actually wanted to talk about the fact that he wants this election to be called. Not just that, he obviously mentioned a lot of bullet points on the throne speech, but addressing education today, this is what he had to say back to the ministry, the government in place right now.
It's mind-boggling to think we are going to expand the signature school experiment when the Bermuda Union of Teachers is warning us of an impending disaster. This experiment has effectively shifted millions of taxpayers' dollars from social services into consultants' pockets. And distressingly, the proponents of this experiment seem to have failed to realize our kids are not lab rats. Give the school leaders the authority and resources to run schools. Let the teachers teach. Government promises made, government promises broken. The OBA can fix it. It's time for an election.
I mean, I don't disagree with him. I mean, it's something he said there. I don't know if I shared this publicly, but I had a summer job, and it was at the company of the former Minister of Education. he was the CEO there, and he asked, did anyone attend Cedar Bridge? And I put my hand up of the summer students, and he's like, oh, you can thank me for that. And I don't know if it was a like take that kind of thing or not. But in saying that, to Jarian Richardson's comment, I await the day when children, mainly Black children, are not looked at as lab rats. That's a serious term to use. Again, my African experiences, stop using Africa and its people as lab rats. Stop using Black women, people as lab rats. I mean, it's so many different ways. And I hope that comment hit home with people. I really do.
Yeah, just another thing that we gotta like obviously keep our eyes on when it comes to, it's so many moving parts when it comes to education in Bermuda right now, not just with the transition of it, but the cost of it, the consultations of it, a lot of things going in place. I'll be putting out like a more in detailed recap of it on my Media page this week, and I'll bring it to the show as well. In other news, and this is something that definitely want to keep an eye out too, just more laws coming into effect, but how often are you giving away your personal information, signing up with your email, or filling out forms for businesses without really giving any act to the thought of what you're actually doing and what's going to be done with your personal data? Well, PIPA is the new Personal Information Protection Act, and it will be coming out in January, exactly on January 1st of 2025. Now, here's a little quick recap of a video I did explaining exactly what it is and how it will affect not just businesses, but also clients and you. So let's talk about what PIPA means for organizations. Starting in January 2025, any businesses that uses personal information, whether it's your contact details or more sensitive information like your gender or your race, will need to follow very clear rules. They're required to keep the information secure, explain how they're using it through privacy notices, and only collect what is absolutely necessary. So if you start getting emails that you did not sign up for, under PIPA, you can actually reject to get all those marketing emails, or even withdraw any consent you may have given before. Also, the Office of the Privacy Commissioner of Bermuda, or PrivCom, is an independent body, which means it's not a part of government.
It's an interesting thing. We did part of our survey, we asked people would they like to see, was it a monthly newsletter? Mm-hmm. And surprisingly, like 80% of you who've responded so far are like, yes. And we're like, no, right? And truthfully, we don't like to bother you. We're here with you every day. And what we're trying to do is change the mindset, like become a member, and you can see some like videos on our YouTube channel and maybe on our website going forward, because we're going to be upgrading that in the new year. But I'm going to be honest with you. I don't read them, and I don't have the time to unsubscribe, but I get it. And if we do send a newsletter, you have that opportunity to unsubscribe. You do. If you do receive one, it's something that we really, really want to make sure you don't miss. But we probably send 2 to 3 a year, if that. So I get it. I don't want my inbox and don't give my information to anybody.
And that's mainly what it's about, especially if you're like in a job, if they ask for a lot more personal detail than you think is necessary, that's also something that you can like question now under PIPA. It's like low-key in effect right now, but it's going to be fully in effect. And so definitely some stuff that we're going to bring up later on when it gets there specifically. Now, last weekend, you may know about this, you may not, but there was actually the first ever Women in Sports award ceremony that happened that was put on by the Bermuda Olympic Association. And our very own Simone Vaughn was there at the event, and she's got a deep scope and she got to speak to some of the attendees present. So here's the story.
The Bermuda Olympic Association hosted the first ever Women in Sports Leadership Awards at the Bermuda Underwater Exploration Institute. Awardee and BOA chairperson Donna Rayner shares inspiration to future ladies in the sports industry.
Stay passionate about anything that you're involved in, whether it be sport, whether it would be your career or whatever. Just stay passionate and know as a woman that you can do anything that you want to do.
Many women were given their flowers on this auspicious evening. Some of the sports represented included swimming, diving, and equestrian. The program was also graced with a performance by the Bermuda Dance Academy and a Sanshua demonstration. The opportunities for ladies in the sports arena are endless. The government's presence and support topped off the evening with Governor Lalji closing out the ceremony honoring these very special women in sports.
So from a government perspective, we will always support women in sport, just like we support all of sports in Bermuda. So I thank the committee for putting this on. congratulations to all of the awardees.
Whether working behind the scenes or participating on the world stage in their respective sports, these women are doing phenomenal work. The flowers they received tonight are a testament to the importance of recognizing our women leaders. This is Simone Vaughn with the Daily Hour.
Oh, that was decent. Congrats for that event, and Governor Lalji, she's really leaving with a bang, like attending all these events, and I think it's only right having her, first woman to serve in that position. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, she was also up there at the Paris Olympic Games, right?
Yeah.
That was really great. Like, she actually gave some really great speeches and some really great moments with the our athletes, our Olympians out there that were just like pretty heartfelt. I remember them quite fondly.
Thanks for that, Simone. Great story.
Great story, Simone. Closing up with one more sports, as everyone who may have gone out to that PGA golf tour, but the sports, Puerto Rico, Rican Rafael Campos has described this week as the best of his life after claiming the Butterfield Bermuda Championship title at the Port Royal Golf Course in Southampton on November the 17th. The 36-year-old shot a final round of 68 to finish on 19 under to win his first PGA Tour event and secure the $1.242 million prize. So
good stuff.
Good stuff indeed. Kamiko Smith as well, Bermuda's own golfer there. He got a lot of recognition from PGA, and that was really cool to see if you saw those social posts come up.
Good
so big up to him. As for the weather today, it's looking like sunny intervals, winds northeasterly moderate, a little bit strong winds coming in, but should not be that much rain or even no rain, hopefully, thankfully. And we got a high of 73.
All righty. What you got for days of the year?
Days of the year. So today is National Princess Day. National Princess Day. So throwing a fairy tale themed party with fancy dresses for your children, their friends, and watching a Disney movie, or pamper yourself royally on Princess Day. That's what it's telling us to do. But for us, I want to ask the audience, who's your favorite Disney princess?
So I thought, I said Princess Diana, but she was a real princess. But I don't know any Disney princesses, and people laugh, but here's a true story. We're out in the safari, and these lots referring to these different animals with different names. So I'm like, what the heck's this? They're like, you've never seen Lion King? I'm like, no, I ain't never seen Lion King.
Yeah, you didn't know these names.
What, everybody seen Lion King except me?
Oh, clearly.
Flying back, it was a long 22 hours flight time to get back to the US, and on one of the flights, I actually watched Lion King for the first time. So now everything made sense to me, what I was seeing in the safari. This is not my first time to an African safari, folks, but everything made sense after the fact. So I have now seen Lion King.
I cannot believe you've never seen. Did you ever watch Coco? Because I told you to watch Coco. Sorry. Not okay, fine. Never mind. Another conversation. But what's the audience saying for the favorite princess? Because unless no one said anything.
Nobody.
God, okay.
My goodness, what's wrong with you? I thought it was just me. All right.
Clearly not.
I do agree with Farah Pelosi. This is something we're going to talk about.
That is quite a bit of money.
Yeah. But we're going to talk again. You all, come on. We got a guest coming up. But don't get me started. Don't get me started. We got Pocahontas and Mulan.
I knew Faye was probably going to say that. Because my favorite is either Pocahontas or Mulan. Like,
Pocahontas was a princess?
Well, yes, in her her warrior to her father. Mulan kind of wasn't. She was more of a warrior, but still they'll call her princess because Shang wasn't even a king. He was just like a warrior himself. But yeah, the warriors.
Some stuff to do, folks. I'm learning some stuff. Who's Princess Tiana?
That is the first Black princess, actually, from Disney. She was in Princess and the Frog, Princess Tiana.
I should know this. Thank you, Emily Gilda. All right, folks, we're going to take a break. We got Beyond Inclusion, Beyond Ball-Roach coming up. Stick with us. Don't go anywhere. But in the meantime, do us a big favor. If you haven't filled out our survey already, please do that. Fill out our survey for us. We'll share the link real quickly. If you haven't already, we'll share it in the comments. So Farah or Emily Gildill, who just commented, and Sahima Chaudhry, Renee Webb, who's commented this morning, just click that link. Fill out our survey for us while we're at break. And also make sure you give us a like, a love, follow, share the conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues. We'll be back in about 2 minutes, 25 seconds with our guests of the day.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose People's. so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it People's. I call it my one-stop shop in the city. People's, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Unlock your business potential with BDC's General Microloan, offering up to $30,000 for Bermudian small and medium businesses, whether it's for inventory, working capital, or equipment. We provide 100% guarantee on approved loans. Simple application, low interest rates, and fast processing. Apply today and make your business dream come true.
Looking for the best care for your pets? Novazok Feed and Supply has everything you need, from top quality foods to toys and supplies. We've got it all. Join our frequent buyer program and earn rewards every time you shop. Plus, we've been awarded the Clever Customer Initiative program for helping you save more. And don't forget, we open an hour early on Saturdays so you can get a head start on your pet care. Visit us today or shop online for easy pickup or delivery. Your pets will thank you.
Hey Daily Hour community, it's that time of year again. The Daily Hour's annual survey is live, and we want to hear from you. This is your chance to tell us what you love, what you'd like to see more of, and how we can make your viewing experience even better. It only takes a few minutes, and your feedback helps us shape our show for the year ahead. So don't wait, click the link, fill out the survey, and help us continue to improve our community one conversation at a time.
All right, welcome back to the big show. Maya Palacio, I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by BAC Group of Companies, Medical Wells, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Folks, do not forget, fill out the survey if you haven't already. Subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right, without further ado, let's give a warm TDH welcome to our guest for the day. We've got Brianna Ball-Roach from Beyond Inclusion.
Good morning.
Calm down, audience. Calm down.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
We're good.
Good.
I gotta ask, do you have a favorite Disney princess?
It's me. I'm my favorite Disney princess.
I love that.
No, you have to be for the culture, Princess Tiana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm actually upset that I did not know anything about Princess Tiana.
You don't know any of it, and now I want to send you all the movies to watch and in what order.
I mean, you all just had me watching Lion King for the first time. I'm not ashamed. Your boy just wasn't into TV like that, you know.
That's fine.
But no, before we get into today's conversation, have you seen Lion King, Miss Ball-Roach?
I have, but I will admit I'm 29 now, and I didn't see it until I was 22. Same thing as you, on a flight, and I got crunched by all of my friends for that. But I'm up to date now, so don't crucify me.
We're both up to date. We're both up to date. I ain't taking my shame.
I'm just a little shocked. See, but this is why I didn't know a lot of the animals, Jamal. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's okay. I know now for my next when we go to Uganda or Tanzania, wherever we go next. I know. But anyway, Brianna, thank you so much. It's early. Thank you for joining us. Before we get right into the Beyond Inclusion, just tell us a bit about your background and what it is that you do.
Absolutely. So I'm Brianna. My background is primarily in mental health and social services, and I'm actually not the only founder of Beyond Inclusion. There's also Miss Rebecca Lawrence, the one and only. Her background is more so in education and autism studies, and so we've kind of joined together with our areas of expertise to be able to provide the services that Beyond Inclusion does offer. So that's us in a quick nutshell.
And how did it get started? Like, where did the idea come from?
So Rebecca and I met while we were both working for a former employer of ours, and we had in our office this dream board of all of these different things that we just wanted to do. And so a lot of what you actually see us doing at Beyond Inclusion now are things that, we have dreamed about for a long time. And I think one day it just clicked for us. We were like, it's really not that hard. Let's just do it. And it can be done. Let's just take a leap of faith and, trust ourselves that we're able to do this. We know what we're doing, and we have the passion there for our community, and let's just do it. And so we soft launched last year, actually in October. So we're coming up on just over a year of being in existence.
That's amazing. Congratulations to that. 1 year.
1 year, we just got our charity status too. We had been waiting for it for a while, and we finally got it. We made a big stink about it. Did like a whole photo shoot, like it was like a baby announcement.
I saw that.
People on the beach are like, "Congratulations on your baby!" And we're dying laughing. It's like, it's not actually a baby, but it's our baby.
That's a big accomplishment. Congrats. So let's go more into Beyond Inclusion. Just tell us a little bit about the services that you guys actually offer.
Yeah, so before I do that, I'll give you an explanation on the name. So we are strong and firm believers. Inclusion is really the bare minimum, guys. We don't believe that anybody gets any special attention or claps or congratulations for being inclusive. That's what we should be. Those are our dues for being a human being on this earth and just being a decent person, right? We should automatically be inclusive and accepting of other individuals. And so Beyond Inclusion came from our belief that we want to go beyond inclusion. It's just as simple as that. And so we noticed that on island, there were existing services specifically for educational supports, clinical, therapeutic, even sports things, that are happening in the area for individuals with support needs. And we were like, but who's doing the fun stuff? And so we're like, we're fun. We're fun people. Let's get out there and offer social events, inclusive and accessible community outings and things like that. We offer life skill sessions, respite services, and then we also do consultations and training and service delivery for those kinds of things as well.
What are respite services?
Respite care. Okay, I'm so glad that you asked. So, for example, you may have a family who has an individual with complex, or maybe not even complex, but just support needs in general. And they meet the parents or the guardians, maybe the primary caregivers, and everyone needs a break, right? Because when you give the caregivers a break, it ensures that they're well rested and able to properly provide appropriate and quality care for their individual. And so respite is literally a break from primary caregiving responsibilities. So how we do it, that could look like us coming into the home and doing activities and providing a certain level of engagement for that individual, or we can take them out into the community and do activities with them as well. So it's just giving the primary caregivers a well-deserved break.
That's beautiful. That's really great. Well, okay. So again, you said you're coming up to a year. I think I read that your first event was actually the Trunk and Treat.
Yes.
So can you talk a little bit about what that is?
Absolutely. So Trunk or Treat is an inclusive and accessible alternative to trick-or-treating. And what most people don't realize that there are barriers that exist with that well-known holiday activity that's supposed to be fun. So for example, if you have an individual who's a wheelchair user, but all of the houses in their neighborhood have steps to get up, how are they going from door to door? Or if you have individuals who may abscond and run away and may not have that safety and danger awareness, and they kind of just run out into the street, it may not be safe for them to go trick-or-treating. Or individuals who don't use speech as their primary form of communication, there might be that pressure of having to actually say trick-or-treat to come and get something. And so we created an inclusive and accessible alternative where we have cars that decorate their trunks and themes, and then you dress up to match the theme of your trunk. And it's typically in an enclosed space like a parking lot. So the first year we did it at Linda's Devonshire. This year we did it at Bull's Head. And then participants of all ages with and without support needs are able to maneuver from trunk to trunk, collecting treats and sensory items because not everyone is able to consume food orally. So just our fun version. I said that I was my favorite princess because I was actually a passenger princess this year for Trunk or Treat. That was my costume. So it's a fun time. We look forward to it every year.
That's really sweet. That's cool. Because now, again, I guess this would be the second year that it was completed.
Yes.
So obviously bigger. Nice. So you guys are going to make that thing an annual. That's really sweet. So anything coming up for the holidays, actually, since you did something for Halloween, does people expect something for Christmas?
Yes, and so you'll be hearing about it on our social media in the coming weeks. One of the pieces of feedback that we got from our community was that sometimes we have individuals with support needs who are children or even adults, and one of the, again, holiday experiences that they miss out on is being able to like meet and greet with Santa and have that opportunity to like go and take the photos and do all of those kinds of things. And so we'll be having a holiday event that'll give individuals with support needs the opportunity. They can come and get family photos done for free with like a holiday backdrop. They'll get to meet Santa. There'll be some holiday activities like cookie decorating and things like that that they can participate in. So that's our holiday thing coming up.
Nice.
Can you talk a little bit about the program that you actually did, I think, when it came to Beyond Inclusion, Ignite, I believe was the ones that kind of like helped you through it?
Absolutely. We're actually sitting in the podcast studio for Ignite right now. So shout out to Ignite. And I will just put a shameless plug here. Anyone who has an idea, Ignite is where you need to be. They have been extremely pivotal in our entire experience. When we first started Ignite, it was in May or June of this year. And we came in with a totally different idea of what Beyond Inclusion was going to be. And we have completely pivoted to something different. And we feel a lot clearer in our mission and what it is that we'd like to offer the community. And so not only do they provide you with resources, it's guidance, it's everything, and it's all for free. You really can't get that kind of access to the kinds of resources that they provide anywhere else, especially not for free. And so we're grateful to the entire Ignite team and our cohort. Great, gotta shout them out.
All right, real quickly. This is pretty much. I love the idea. I like when people come up with things, but it seems like we haven't touched on something that should be touched on, and it's the ugly stuff. Legislation. I've spoken about my time in working in tourism in particular, and one of the challenges I had in selling Bermuda was that Bermuda was not ADA friendly, which is the American Disability Act. What kind of legislation are you guys looking at and changing? It's great to exist, right, and see these things and try to help from a charitable level. But are you working with the political side, the legislative and policy side, or any plans to do that?
So we have had the privilege of being in spaces where we were able to advocate, at least from our point of view, for different changes and policies and things that should be introduced and upheld. We are aware that there has been a commitment to create a Disability Act in the recent throne speech. And what I can say is that what we agree with additional protections for this population, right, especially as vulnerable individuals. And I think from our standpoint, we are really excited to see what resources are going to be made available so that those protections can actually exist in a practical kind of way, right? Because we have legislation that are in different acts that exist that it's just not all under one umbrella, I guess I could say. And so we want to make sure that whatever legislation is created and enforced, that there are the resources to then go ahead and back that up.
Indeed. Rosalind Famous. Audience, if you have any questions or comments for Brianna, please send them through. She's asking, do you have initiatives that include persons who don't speak English?
We don't at the moment, but thank you for raising that. We certainly appreciate like feedback of all kinds. It helps us to see outside of our bubble. And I think that's one thing that we are really passionate about. As Rebecca and I, two able-bodied individuals, we never want to, just assume, right? And so we include individuals with support needs in our high-level decision-making. And that's a great suggestion right there. I don't know exactly how we'd implement it, but it's something to look into for sure.
We've got Life with Shay says, I absolutely love Beyond Inclusion. And Farah Palacio says, congratulations. Where can people go to learn more, stay in contact with you? And even if they wanted to support, how can people go about doing that?
So we are active on social media. I would say Instagram is probably our most active place, and that would be at Beyond Inclusion BDA. We also have our website, www.beyondinclusionbda.com, or you can email us. Honestly, we love hearing from you guys. Whenever we get an email, Rebecca and I are like, you should see our chat. We'd be like, oh my gosh, someone emailed us. Like, let's get back to them right away because we love engaging with the community. It's always great to hear from you guys on what it is that you believe is needed so that we're just not the ones making these decisions on behalf of a population without including them in that. So
Yeah, I absolutely love that. As I stated before you came in, we have a survey that we put out annually, and your, the organization's name came up quite a few times. That audience wanted to hear from you, and again, we were going through a transition in the background in the summer, so we didn't even realize until we kind of looked at you guys have reached out to us. But this, I say this about a lot of guests, but the show exists for conversations like this because there are a lot of people. I mean, if I asked the audience right now, my hope was a lot of them knew, but audience, let us know. Did you know about Beyond Inclusion? Yes or no? Did you know about them? I love this. I love this. I think this
Yeah.
is long overdue. You said something about when you went to Ignite, though, that and when you went there, you went in with an idea, you came up with almost a totally different thing. That tells me that you all are not stubborn. It tells me that you're open to, responding to the needs, not just what you want to do, but what's needed. And I think that says a lot about your character.
You have to be, though. I mean, it's not about us, and it's so much bigger than us. And again, I think we're just hyper vigilant of the fact that we are two able-bodied individuals, and yes, we want to advocate for this group and for this population, but we cannot be the loudest voices in the room, right? That's not how it works, right? And so, like from our board down to our just general meetings, we have individuals with support needs. We listen to the families, even if it's just small conversations whenever we have like social outings and we're talking to the parents of these individuals and like, how was your week? Like, how are things? What's going on? And we really do listen. Like we take these conversations to heart and we go back and we have our little founders dinner, almost every week. And we hash out how it is that we're going to respond to the needs of the community.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Awesome things. We've got John Otterbridge. Dr. Jana, hey. She says, thank you for all the work you do. Any suggestions for the workplace?
We love Dr. Jana. I just have to say that. Yes, we do actually. I will say so. We had the privilege of traveling to a conference this past summer that was all about disability inclusion in the workplace, and it was by an organization called the Association of People Supporting Employment First, and the whole movement of Employment First is the idea and the notion that individuals with support needs should have access to meaningful work, living wages, and the opportunities to advance in their career. So yes, we definitely have suggestions for the workplace. I would say please reach out to us about those. That's one of the areas that we're actively working towards, being able to provide supportive employment opportunities for this population. So there are always ways to be more inclusive, and they're not as hard as you think. So reach out to us for sure.
I like that part. It's not as hard as we think.
It really isn't.
Just repeat for Life with Jay, asking how can we donate? I would love to support your mission.
Yes, you can donate to us now that we're officially a registered charity. We do have donation details. We'll go ahead and pop them up on our website. Thank you for that reminder, because it's new. So we will make sure that those are populated up by the end of today. But if other than that, you can always email us and let us know what exactly you'd like to donate to. I know we have a couple initiatives coming up. One of them is actually Ramp It Up. We have a collaboration going on with the Ministry of Youth, Social Development and Seniors and Pay a Kid. And so that'll be Beyond Inclusion, providing portable wheelchair ramps for free to businesses, local businesses in Bermuda, to help increase their physical accessibility so that individuals who are wheelchair users are able to go out to eat at this restaurant that just has a couple steps that is otherwise, it's inaccessible. But if you've got a ramp in there, then they can go and have fun, or they can shop at their favorite place. So that's something that you could donate to if you'd like. We also have, for the UN International Day of Persons with Disabilities, we'll be doing a movie screening of a new movie that's coming out, and that'll be free. But you can donate to that as well. But there are a bunch of things: our sessions, our outings, our life skills, respite care. If there's an area that kind of touches your heart, we'd be happy to give you more information on it if you would like to donate.
Indeed, thank you. And I did ask, had anyone in the audience, heard of Beyond Inclusion today? So thankfully, Trevor Trotty said yes. Rosalind Famous said no. Alison Bassett said yes. Karen Simmons said yes. Manuela John said no. Rob Palacio said no, but I love it. This is beautiful and it's opening my mind for what is needed on island. Suzanne Ingham said no, never heard of it. Can you put the info in the chat, please? Which we did, so you can see the info beyondinclusionbda.com. So, Brianna, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
this conversation.
Brilliant.
I'm saying, don't be a stranger. Don't be a stranger. If there's anything that we can do to keep the messages flowing in the hearts and minds of our audience, we will definitely do that. And Maya is a friend of your organization as well. So if you need something quick in our news or just our social media or our newsletter, which may not happen, or our membership on YouTube, let us know. But thank you for your time. Thank you for
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great Monday.
as well.
Thank
All
you.
right, Brianna Ball-Roach, folks. Hey, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share that conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues. I absolutely loved everything about that conversation. I'll share a bit more after this final break. Don't go anywhere. But in the meantime, if you haven't done the survey, do the survey. Give us a thumbs up, a love, a like, and we'll be back in 2 minutes, 58 seconds to wrap it up. And we've got a daily play. Let's see if Maya gets this one. Stick with us.
All right. Who was the first woman to become not just the first female opposition leader in Bermuda, but throughout the entire British Commonwealth?
Dame Lewis Brown Evans. Hey, buddy.
Hun, who was the first woman to serve as opposition leader, not just in Bermuda, but throughout the entire British Commonwealth?
Dame Lewis Brown Evans.
Mason, what did we say?
Dame Lewis Brown Evans.
Dame Lewis Brown Evans? Where do you find that?
Mommy playing Bermuda Trivia.
Mommy playing Bermuda Trivia.
Oh, honey, I'm so proud of you. Good job.
It's true. Children are a reflection of their environment. Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Fun with a purpose. To educate, to entertain, to inform, to inspire, to learn, and to enjoy. Bermuda Trivia. All volumes now available at various stores throughout Bermuda. Visit bermudatrivia.com to learn more and follow Bermuda Trivia on your favorite social media platforms.
Being from this little island, like yourself, we knew you needed access to reliable shipping. We set up mailboxes so you can skip all the long waits or held up in customs excuses.
This is what I get for ordering direct. Easter was months ago.
With mailboxes, that won't happen. Get your packages in under 48 hours using our dashboard.
Plus, if you're a planner or headerer, our weekly consolidation service might be for you. We hold your packages in Delaware and ship them together to save you big time on shipping fees.
And with our warehouse being in Delaware, that means 0% sales tax. Pretty cool, right guys?
Ship it back to the States for returns. No big deal with mailboxes. You barely have to lift a finger or paw.
Wondering about prices? Let's break it down.
This is the other guys. They use a fee-based pricing strategy, charging you in multiple points throughout your shipment's journey. That's right. Unfortunately, you're probably paying fees you don't even know about. And that's why at Mailboxes, we believe in transparent pricing with no hidden fees. Only ever charging you 3 line items: duties and taxes, insurance, and shipping from end to end, so that you can enjoy Bermuda's fastest shipping experience.
Take a look at our workwear for construction workers and tradesmen. Durable, stretchable in all the right places, and plenty of options for tools and accessories. Paired with our wide range of tough and comfortable footwear, you can't go wrong. As you can see, Medical House really is a one-stop shop for everybody. We can't wait to see you.
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
Alrighty. Once again, thanks to Brianna Ball-Roach and Beyond Inclusion for stopping by today. Really awesome conversation. Again, folks, if you haven't already, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share that conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues. Thanks again to the BAC group of companies, Medical House Windows, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we can have these conversations with you on a regular basis. It's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right, Maya, are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be, I guess.
All right. It's a who said it. Who said it? All right. Here's the quote. We have outgrown slavery, but our minds are still enslaved to the thinking of the master race. Now take the kinks out of your mind instead of out of your hair. Who said it?
Take the kinks out of your mind instead of out of the kinks in your hair. That's a line. I wish I knew who said that because I don't. Okay, wait. Can you? Is it a poet? Is it a writer? Is it a politician? Is it a protest? Like,
it's an
activist. It's an activist. Okay, the time went out. I heard that.
Okay.
Can I take a guess? I'm not looking at the comments yet. I'm just go.
It's not.
I just don't think it's Martin Luther King who said that. Like, it won't. Marcus Garvey? Who?
It was Marcus.
Oh my! I swear I did not look at it. I swear I did not look at it.
Rosalind, he'll give it to Rosalind. I got it after the buzzer.
I did. I was like, that's not a Martin Luther King quote. Not Malcolm X, because I know he is. Marcus Garvey.
Sure, Abraham Lincoln would have said that.
Don't he would talk about somebody's kinks? That's
Yeah, I don't think a white man who's looked at as the savior of slavery would have spoken about black people and kinks. Not sure that's the one. All right.
David Michael Wilson is normally on point, though.
What's that?
He's normally on point.
Yeah. That was just no update for you, David Michael Wilson. Well, let's wrap it up. Awesome discussion this morning about the media and the influence it has, and then the conversation with Brianna Ball-Roach. What you got? Final words, man.
Yeah, I absolutely loved the conversation with Brianna Ball. I think it's something that we need to really address and look into more. I love that the name itself, Beyond Inclusion, because it's more than just the surface level of thing. It's life. It's living to your fullest extent, your fullest being, to be able to provide that in such a beautiful resource that they have, and so much empathy and so much care that they put into this. You could just tell it's what they love, it's what they want to pursue, it's what they want to help the community be more part of. So I can't wait for more people to know about them, to use their resources, to support them in this journey that they're doing, and also for them to be on those leadership boards and bringing those people in with the voices that they need to help these laws get passed and make Bermuda better.
Indeed. I'll say this much. As far as media, I think that we as individuals have a responsibility to decipher and do our own work. We don't live in a world anymore where we can just accept what's given to us. It takes more. If not, our truths are not going to be the truth. So I think we have a responsibility when it comes to the media. As far as the conversation with Brianna Ball-Roach, I truly believe that you all know how I am when it comes to inclusion. I actually don't have a problem with discriminating if it's to protect people. I don't think that people who have molested children should be allowed to work around children. So I am okay with certain forms of discrimination. You will never hear me speak about inclusivity for all. However, this is an example of where it's necessary and where it deserves the support of the greater community. As I stated earlier, I never realized Bermuda wasn't ADA friendly. I never realized we had these issues. I didn't. And then you speak and trying to get people to come to Bermuda, and they're like, well, no, you don't have steps and this and that. So our reality is shifted. And so I am happy that this organization exists, and this organization could mean so much beyond our own spaces. Economically, it could help create more opportunities to bring people to Bermuda, because now we are accessible to all. So I'm grateful for them, thankful for them, and congratulations to them. All right, time for the daily inspiration. I'm just going to read that quote again, folks, and I'll read the last part. That's the most important part. Quote, "Take the kinks out of your mind instead of out of your hair." End quote. Marcus Garvey. Yeah, I think that's a way to leave you.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, seriously. Folks, don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on.
Can't quite hear you, Jamal.
Can't hear me.
There you go. Now we can hear you.
What's happening with my mic, folks?
It's like whenever I talk, then it starts to work. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's strange. But fill out the link. Click the link and fill out the survey. Also, help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lenders, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of the daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. She's Maya Palacio. I'm Jamal Hartman. Please make it a safe and a great day. We are out. Peace.